So today I am going to talk about financial technologies and computing in finance, the use of computers in financial industry. What do we mean by financial technologies and the definition of fintech? Financial technologies, the buzzword fintech is defined from the combination of financial technologies. Financial technologies are technologies that creates improved financial services for consumers and business. Everything from personal to financial management tools, insurance, payments, management, asset management, credit savings, back-end financial platforms, compliance, regulations, blockchain solutions. They are all in financial technologies domain. So a good-looking figure would be the fintech financial technologies includes the following members: payments, digital banking, investment crowdfunding, lending, peer-to-peer systems, blockchain and cryptocurrency, insurance technologies, regulatory technologies, etc. So all of them are classified under financial technologies. With the growing popularity of financial technologies in countries like us, there are many opportunities, job opportunities, and positions related to financial industry, and those positions are usually well-paid positions, because just like the medical industry, financial industry also hosts significant amount of money. So the revenue is distributed to the workers of the company. Therefore, if you are working in a financial industry, you'll probably get a good salary. There are segments, another segmentation figure from internet. It's fintech can be classified under finance, asset management, payment technologies, and other things like insurance. Insurance is very important. Infrastructure technologies, search engines, comparisons. In terms of finance, there is a big topic called credit operations. For example, this credit information, credit calculation is a big topic, including techniques with artificial intelligence and deep learning technologies, so computation of credit, etc. Other edge technologies like crowdfunding, finding money, peer-to-peer lending, those technologies are also interesting for creating the finance. Factoring, some of you may have heard. Factoring means you have an agreement with a customer. You are a small business. You have an agreement with a big customer, and by showing the agreement with the customer, like Arçelik or Koç Holding or some other company or some construction company, you can get some finance by showing of your agreement, because your agreement is guaranteeing that you will get payment in 6 months if you finish the job. So it's a form of credit. In the past, it was done through the checks. So check will be written in advance, as an advance payment with the date, with a further date on it, and that check was used to generate some artificial money in the payment circle in order to complete the bid. But thanks to the factoring industry, the factoring industry started as mafia at the beginning, because you were showing the agreement to the mafia and getting the money from the mafia. But now that is institutionalized, so those agreements and bids can be given to banks and financial institutions as a form of securing the credit. Therefore, it's much more beneficial for small businesses. That's what factoring is. So there are also infrastructure part. In the infrastructure, we have cloud computing, AI, machine learning, mobile computing, data science, analytics, APIs, IoT, cybersecurity. They are all somewhat related to the financial technologies. So financial technology, when you are working in the financial technology, you shouldn't always think that you are developing a banking application, so it is kind of boring. No, it's not boring. There are very nice applications, good opportunities in financial industry. We see news like this from time to time. As a mistake, 2 billion Turkish lira is lost by the bank because of the software problem, software design problem in the banking software. Two guys got 2 billion Turkish liras. Later they are detected and returned the money, some part of the money. But now we see that it is so much important to be correct, precise, and working 100% of the time. Banking systems usually should work 100% of the time, or 99.9999 something, 6 sigma or 5 sigma, because the businesses and the customers cannot tolerate errors. For example, you withdraw 100 Turkish liras, and you should get 100, not 80, not 120. So you have to get the correct amount, and there should be no mistakes. That's another news. Fault was found by these guys, and the 16 billion Turkish liras were transferred by wire. Some of you may be thinking that you couldn't find such a bug in the banking software, but I mean, not everyone is that lucky, and I doubt it that it's a luck. I think it's a bad luck, because you will get into trouble when you do these kind of things. They are probably in jail or something. So banking is the core of the financial technology. Banking relates to investment, payment, and moving money. It's kind of payment, so sending money, receiving money between parties, investment banking, and payment. And there are secondary things like insurance, credit cards, other things, credit. These all goes back to banking system. So they have their core banking systems. That's what they say, core banking. Core banking is basically payment, savings. These are core banking. Payment, savings, and sending money is the core banking functions. Investment and credits are secondary functions. And even if we are a developed world somewhat, according to the statistics, only 69% of the adults in the world, 69% of the adults in the world have bank account. So having bank account is somewhat de facto in our societies, but if we look at the world, it's different. So that makes clear that when we are thinking about technologies, we need to create other forms of technologies that makes people happy dealing with the money transfer, money savings and payment, etc. So there could be other technologies. For example, in African countries, the telephone companies are quite important for financial sectors, also in China. So the telephone companies and applications are significant players in the financial industry. It's form of a payment. So 1.7 million adults stay unattached into the banking system, even if they have mobile phones. So that makes mobile phones an attractive candidate for financial technologies. Most of these people today belong from developing countries. So the driver of financial inclusion must begin from those lands. So like some Asian countries and African countries and Middle Eastern countries. The penetration of mobile phone is very significant. So in those territories, so it's time for the financial institutions and services include these people in the banking community through the financial technology providers. So payment technologies, credit technologies, wiring money, sending money technologies are quite important. Furthermore, when you introduce a technology to the money business, it is usually the government also becomes a player, and government wants to be in the process for regulatory purposes and for taxation purposes. Therefore, there is a government part and monitoring part in all these technologies to monitor the transactions, find frauds, and try to combat with the crimes, financial crimes, etc. Dirty monies. So fintech providers also cooperate with the governments, and the cryptocurrencies are one form of beating the governments and taking the authority from the governments to private establishments and coordinated establishments. That's what makes cryptocurrency attractive for individuals and unattractive and maybe enemy for the governments, because governments lose their control over the transactions between parties when people start to use cryptocurrencies, which could be problematic for directing the economy. The next interesting part is the stock. By the way, if you have questions, I have the chat open, so you can write. Try to make some interaction so that I know that you are alive, because nobody turned on their camera, unfortunately. We have 60 people, but I think all of them are broken. All the cameras are broken now. So the stock exchange, Borsa Istanbul, and the New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq, and Dow, etc. So what kind of financial technologies and the things related to computing can happen? And one thing is use of online applications in trading instead of going to the stock exchange in person. Today, some of you may have heard that our university is working with Istanbul Stock Exchange for about, I think, 4 years together. I am consulting with them, so some of your projects, some of your senior projects goes to Borsa Istanbul. And so from time to time, I go to Borsa building, and for 8 or 9 years, maybe more, the Borsa building is no longer hosting traders. The place that traders were sitting converted to research and development center where they develop software. That salon is converted to development section where guys like you, computer engineers, work for developing certain applications for the stock exchange. So there are no more traders in the building. There is a trading salon, again, for showing off. That is the salon that you see on the news. There are 7 or 8 people who are monitoring the operations with good screens. So when news talk about Istanbul Stock Exchange, they show that part of the building, but those are not traders. Those are just people who are responsible for monitoring the operations, and it looks nice in principle. So normally people use online access. All the companies doing trading and people doing trading uses online resources for doing it. And recently, artificial intelligence is started to be used in the stock market by traders. So if you have a good artificial intelligence program, you can make money in the stock market. That's important, and you can make money if you are intelligent. You can make money not only in Turkish stock market, but in international stock markets. So people who are intelligent, people who are making the best program, best intelligent program, can win, can make money and make income, not only for their personal income, but also for their companies, for their countries. So it is quite significant. With the stock market, faster transaction, faster buy, sell, then that makes high frequency trading. High frequency trading means sell, buy, sell, buy. So multiple transactions per second. Each time you make a transaction, you can gain, for example, one small amount of money. But when you make it too many times, that makes a cumulative gain sometimes. So that is what people call high frequency trading. And high frequency trading is very interesting because it brings a lot of load in the servers. And servers should be able to sustain those high frequency trading. And real-time monitoring of what is happening in the market. So when something is happening, something bad, some manipulation happening, some crash is about to happen, you need to detect it and stop. If it is illegal operation, which can happen, you need to stop it. Or if it is an unfortunate operation, like some bomb exploded in some part of the country and you need to shut down the stock exchange, so you need to immediately understand something is going on with a program, then stop trading, because some people may abuse it. Stock exchange is something very fragile in many countries, and it can lead to unethical, let me say, unethical gains, because say unlawful is sometimes unlawful, sometimes not, but unwanted gains is not good for the stock exchange. So we develop a lot of mechanisms to monitor safe and just buying and selling, because it's an investment. After all, it's not a gambling mechanism, it's an investment mechanism. And with the trading, there could be blockchain methods especially for small companies who are not yet mature enough for trading their stocks. So things like blockchain can help them to go into stock market as early as possible when they are small. Because if you are a big company, are you listening to me, by the way? Bir kafa sallayın ya. Okay, tamam. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So, if you are a big company, in order to go to stock exchange, the procedures are very big and long. So if you are a small company, you cannot afford that kind of operation. It is expensive. Sermaye Piyasası Kurulu, SPK, regulatory bodies should go over your company, make tests, examine, make sure that you are not exaggerating your numbers, make sure that you are who you are, make sure that your revenue figures are real. If not, that could be market manipulation and lying to the market. So you sell your stocks with an expensive price and you leave the country. So in order to prevent that, and that happens too, sometimes they buy people, it is said, they buy people from the regulatory bodies, and some companies make dirty things in the world. Therefore, it is difficult. So for small companies, there are mechanisms, there are new technologies, new strategies to use blockchain as a mechanism of Sermaye Piyasası Kurulu to regulate and check the stocks and the company without central authority. Because when you have central authority, you are dependent on that central authority. If the central authority becomes corrupt for some reason, then you lose your ability. With the blockchain, with the decentralized authority, if you can decentralize these financial monitoring, etc., then it is said that it will be more secure and trustworthy. So stock exchange technologies are very fruitful, and it will be fruitful in the future. it will be smaller, it will be going to smaller. For example, Alperen and Derya forms a company and they want to collect additional investment so that they can move on, and a blockchain based stock exchange can help them to gather the money they need to pursue to continue their work in the company and make the company bigger, also distribute the revenue after the company succeeds. So it will improve and become much complex in the coming years, because there is a lot of money in the world and people don't know what to do with their money. There is some inflation, so against inflation you want to protect your money, and the only way to protect your money is to make some investment, and there should be mechanisms for making investments, and those mechanisms should be electronic. In the traditional banking model, there is a bank, the fat guy. This is the fat guy. So wiring money from some country to some other country uses SWIFT system in the world, and it is done through the US dollars. Most of the transactions in the world is done through US dollars, and it should go to SWIFT system. SWIFT system is connected to central banking system, not central bank, but central banking system of the United States, which is SWIFT. So there is a fee, and it's a significant amount of money. So each time you move US dollars in the world, the United States takes their own share just for the moving the money. So with the new technologies like smart technologies, people are now bypassing SWIFT system to send money between two countries and two companies in different countries. So it saves a lot of US dollar amount, and it is not very good for United States because they lose some revenue and they lose control. For example, when the war between Ukraine and Russia started, they shut down SWIFT for many Russian banks, and people had very big difficulties sending and receiving money from the Russian banks because they had trade. But as time passes, they found other ways of sending money and making contracts in both sides, and that is not liked by the United States because they are losing control over the money propagation, money transfers in the world. They cannot detect what is happening. Therefore, this kind of cryptocurrency and other means of moving money is not welcomed by big player governments. So, on the other hand, these financial technology companies are accumulated on United States and probably on the west side more. But there are other companies in Europe and China and Africa and South America too. So there are brands. Interestingly, there are some companies in Africa as well, in Asia too. So those are some payment companies, smart banking applications, Banks without branches. Bank without branch. So all electronic banks, all electronic financial institutions. There is a new bank in Turkey, which I remember correctly, Hayat Banking, and that is a bank, but has no branch. So it is all virtual, like Google, like Gmail. Similar to Gmail, you will have your banking. There is no place to go. It is all electronic. So financial technology, this is for motivation though. It's a big, there are big ones here. So numbers are in $1 billion. These numbers are in $1 billion. Okay, so it's quite big. And not all of them are in United States, as you see. With second. With new technologies, we are moving to cashless society. And that cashless society brings more control of government, more traceability, except cryptocurrencies, and accountability. When you spend, for example, public welfare, you can give donations to poor people and make sure that those donations are used for food. In the old days, there were food stamps distributed to poor people in the United States, distributed to poor people, and those paper stamps, paper monies, are accepted in grocery stores only. So the government was making sure that the help given to poor people are used by the food, not for the drugs or drinks. So with technological help, this can happen. Online shopping, gaming, purchasing things in games, new gaming strategies, payments in transportations, mobile payments, getting credits, microcredits. You are buying something and immediately you get credit because you are buying that. Money transfers, etc., retail stores. So they all include cashless society operations. And Bill Gates said, banking is necessary, but banks are not. The early days. That's true. So more and more banks are closing their branches because physical banking is becoming unnecessary unless you have a very special need, unless you have very big amount of money. Maybe it is not even that necessary. Getting money, taking money, checking saving account, applying for financial products, loan management, bill paying, account services. So these are all possible to be implemented in virtual environment. That is what, that's why we have financial technologies. So With the new technologies like digital wallets, Apple Pay, Google Wallet, Samsung Pay, these payment technologies enable governments to accept different forms of payment, provided that the control is on the system. Recently, like 3 or 4 years ago, the Turkish government also accepted electronic payments without cash registers. So you can get payments with your phone if you are sending, or if you are receiving money for selling something on the fly. So you can use your, given with the application, you can use your Android phone, not Apple. You can use your Android phone to accept money. For example, you are selling simit on the street, so you can accept credit cards, payment cards with your Android phone through the digital wallets. And Metro is also accepting digital wallets rather than cards. Identification is a problem. Using NFC, tokenization, smart glasses, Google glasses, and seeing something and purchasing. So virtual stores and virtual environments. So that's a whole different experience. And through the social media, the buy button in social media, buying things from Twitter, Facebook. Okay, that's what we call social commerce. And faster payments, real-time payments, immediate payments, and moving on as you go. These are important milestones for the electronic payments. So you have money. As I said, people have much more money than before in the last 10 years in the world. Maybe not you, but in general, the world population has more money. So the moving money among investments is a big problem. So that is what they call portfolio management. Portfolio management has been done by the people named portfolio managers. But now this portfolio management is started to be performed by the artificial intelligence or mechanisms that are kind of robotic, maybe not intelligent, but with the help of information technology. So starting from the listing of your account, listing of what you have, how much does it make, then it moves to, with the 4.0, fully automated investments. Don't care about it. Investment is automatically done by your bank. If your bank's algorithm is good, then you will make more money. If your bank's algorithm is not good, you will make less money. So the financial institution determines how much money you make, because those are the guys developing the artificial intelligence against other players in the market. So the level 3 is the rule-based, level 3 is the AI-based investment management. That could be in the form of interactive systems, chatbots, natural language processing, NLP, not MPL, voice recognition, know your customer. KYC means know your customer. So it is a common word in banking, KYC. User profiling and signature contracts. So you connect to the customer, you know, and you interact with the customer. And on the other side, through the big data, through the asset management, through machine learning, artificial intelligence, you manipulate what you have, where your money goes, etc. That is what people call asset management. That forms an advisory intelligent system. Some of you have a lot of money. I'm sure some of you have. Some of the others has no money. So the question is, why don't you give your money to your friend? We are going to be in this world for about maximum 100 years. You have significant wealth, but you don't give your money to the poor. So how could we improve our society so that we can distribute the wealth among people? One form of distribution is opening the credit channels. That's always taught in the economy news. So opening credits and giving credits to the people so that they can start their businesses and they can improve themselves and they can generate more income. One form of using credit is spending the credit or eating. That's an interesting topic. I can get some credit from my friend, borç, loan, and I can eat it in the restaurant. In that case, I didn't do anything to make myself better for paying it back. I only used it for my regular life. That is not a good form of getting loan, because at the end of the day, when you get 1,000 lira from your friend and you eat that money in the restaurant, you owe 1,200 because there is an interest, because there is an inflation. In order to cover the cost of the money, because if your friend is 1,000, if your friend wouldn't give that 1,000 to you, he would have do another business, another form of investment, purchase land, purchase gold, whatever, do something, and may make that 1,000 to 2,000, 1,000, let's say it's dollar. Make $1,000 to $2,000 with the probability of, because it's a trade, with the probability of 20%. 20% chance he would make 1,000 to 2,000. That's why, because 20% chance, that's why he asks you to pay back that 1,000 as 1,200, because that's the same thing, right? Therefore, you need to pay it back with interest. That's why interest is invented. Cost of the investment. Also, there is an inflation factor, but I'm not talking about that. That should be added on top. Therefore, this is difficult. And when you are giving money to somebody else, you monitor it. Is he doing something good? Is he opening a job? Is she opening a job to grow? Or is she eating it in the restaurant? If she or he is eating it in the restaurant, you want your money back immediately, or you ask, you are more likely to eat my money in the restaurant, so your risk is higher because of what you do. It's customer segmentation. Then I will ask you 100 to 1,250 instead of 200, because you are more risky customers. You are more risky customer. So that goes to dynamic calculation of interest rate for the customers. That's why, for example, the interest rate given to Turkey and interest rate given to Germany is different, because the risks associated with each country is different. How? Because they monitor it. So when peer-to-peer lending, Melih Melih is going to give money to Alperen. But how am I going to control it? With the peer-to-peer lending technology, I do the monitoring as a technology provider. I do everything. You give money and you take money. So both parties involved in the transaction, and I organize it. I organize it as a financial institution. That is what we call peer-to-peer lending. And blockchain technologies are one strong parts of the peer-to-peer lending, because when Melih gives $1,000 to Alperen, who knows it? Alperen can die or deny that he got the money. If there is one authority may be friend of Alperen, or authority may be friend of Melih. So there could be bad things happening. But with a distributed environment, with a distributed ledging technology, blockchain or Ethereum or whatever cryptocurrency, crypto technology, with distributed technology, then everybody understands that Melih gave Alperen this much money and wants it back as 1,250, because Alperen has been eating in the restaurant too much lately. So he is probably going to spend money in the restaurant. So the risks are bigger. Since I am going to compute risks and determine my interest rates based on that, your interest rate is higher, but still you can get money. So peer-to-peer lending mechanisms are very good source for generating financial credit for those who need. Yeah, this is another image about peer-to-peer lending technology, and I have explained this, and it can be connected to payment processing, accounting, cash flow management. They can all be related, and the idea is those who have money, those who have not, and they have to get together. Factoring, one form of factoring. Where is it? Eskiden mafyanın yaptığı iş. You have a customer. You are small business. Your customer places an order with you. This is step one. Step two, You deliver the load and sell the invoice to a factor. Why do you sell invoice? Because buyer didn't pay it. Bu eskiden çek oluyordu biliyorsunuz. Sana çek veriyor 3 ay vadeli. 3 ay vadeli çeki ben ne yapayım? Ben yiyecek miyim? Hayır. Ne yapıyordum? Para babası birine götürüyordum. 100.000 liralık çek. Ağustos ayına. Para babası diyordu ki ben 80.000 veririm. Şimdi sana çeki ver bana. So this is institutionalized and then the para babası, the mafia guy now is an institution, financial institution, and they pay you $80,000 instead of 100, but you have your money now so that your business can run. Then the original customer pays directly back to the factor as a factory institution. So this is what we call invoice financing, and it is becoming very popular in financial sector as a replacement of checks with future dates. Normally checks shouldn't have future dates. It is invented in Turkey. No other country has it. No other developed country has it. Now factoring is now being replaced with the future date checks. And lending technology, peer-to-peer lending, supply trade financing, balance sheet, lending based on balance sheet. So as artificial intelligence, data analytics, analysis, segmentation, those technologies are increasing. We are able to analyze and monitor companies and individuals so that we can give more money. Because one way to improve the economy overall is to make flow of money easier. If the flow of money is easy, then economy grows. If the flow of money is difficult, arkadaşlar şeyi takmamışım. Laptopu şarja takmamışım. Küt diye gitti şeyi. Kapandı. Şimdi geri getiriyorum. Geldi. Bağlanıyor. Is everything normal now? Okay.
Evet hocam, şimdi düzeldi.
So, in order to make economy grow and get better, flow of money should be easy among parties, among companies, and the lending should be easy. Getting credit must be easy so that you can develop new business, etc. So when you have hard time accessing the finance, then that country cannot develop. So it's important. These are the fundamental players. There is also an insurance part. That is what people call insurtech. Insurance was invented in, if I'm correct, in Italy, when ships are going to east in China and in Mediterranean. Some of them did not come back, but some of them comes back with big revenues. So the traders and businessmen and also monks in the Italy developed an idea that they pay certain amount of insurance money to the businessmen. If they come with good money, they are paid back. But if they don't Şarj aleti mi bozuldu acaba? Neyse laptop gitti. Tabletten biraz daha devam edeyim. So if they don't insure, if the ship doesn't come back, the businessman pays. That requires careful examination of what ship it is, who is going, where it is going. Therefore, insurance is not a fixed thing. It must be calculated. And insurance technologies today are calculating insurance policies, insurance premiums, insurance payment amounts individually for individual cases. That includes health insurance, car insurance, personal insurance, life insurance. They all are calculated things, or credit insurance, company insurance. Insurance technology is a big technology, and unfortunately our country is losing money from the insurance technology significantly, because all insurers except one company is foreign company. Hold on a second. Slide paylaşmadım çünkü bilgisayarımı açmaya çalışıyorum. I'm back. Bilim yüzde kaç? %4. The next thing is the regulation, the government, tax, banking, money movements. They all must be regulated. Financial crimes must be found. So reporting, environmental reporting, cyber crimes, and market regulation, unjust operations in stock markets. So they all should be monitored. And technology, smart technologies, data analytics, artificial intelligence plays an important role in that. How we can help with the regulatory technologies? Some of them are reporting technologies. Some of them are detecting technologies. Reporting technologies, for example, are used for reporting sales to the governments so that it can be used for taxations. Reporting for payments for the rent. The rent you pay for your house is reported to the Department of Income Management and then Department of Taxation. Then they are taxed. Double check is done through the analysis system. Regulation technologies have a lot of players in the market, domestic and international market is full of different companies, as you see. It's used by government, and government technologies are focusing on treasury, central banks, forensics, economic planning, and taxation. And the fundamental thing is the big brother is watching you. Then there is a next topic called as computational economics. I'll be fast now. It is the combination of economics, cognitive science, and computation together. It tries to understand economy. Computational economics is interdisciplinary science, including computer science, economics, and management together. It tries to find how should we move correctly in order to, for example, reduce the inflation, in order to make more profit, in order to make decisions for big companies. That is what computational economics is. It has some serious mathematics in it. I'm not going to go into detail. But from the Wikipedia, when we say economics, in the economics there are agents and players. And there are things, goods, there are endowments of those players. And there are outcomes, profit or loss. There are preferences, utilities, and beliefs. So a combination of all these requires computation, and the agents make decisions. So using the computational economics, we make decisions. And we try to understand mechanisms that creates these decisions. Why should economists care about computer science? Because making correct decisions is a resource allocation problem. Resource allocation problem is a computation problem. Sometimes it's very difficult. So in real life, full efficient allocation, the best allocation, is impossible. So the market is always different than the ideal. However, market mechanisms must be designed with computational limitations in mind. New algorithms emerge, allowing new market decisions. The players, agents, also face difficult problems in participating in the market. If you are a business owner, you will have difficult computation problems. Essentially, it's a game theory problem. Game theoretic predictions will not come true if they cannot be computed. So computation-based business decisions are very critical. Sometimes bad, sometimes good. So the economics provide high-value computation problems. Today, in university, in the rector's office, we discussed how we can increase the collaboration between economics department and the computer engineering department, because they are related. The problems are related. So if we can bring people from economics and computer department, computer engineering department, we can tackle more sophisticated problems. We can solve interesting problems. For example, a game theory is a good problem for artificial intelligence, such as playing a poker game. Computation of chances, percentages, and making decisions based on the chances. One thing about economics is part of the economics is descriptive. It explains what is happening. It explains, explanatory, which is descriptive. The other part is normative. Normative means it studies how people should behave. What is the right choice? What is the right decision? So normative economics is important problem for the important problem for the computation because it helps to make decisions. There is also definition about microeconomics and microeconomics. Microeconomics analyzes the decisions in the individual agents. Macroeconomics analyzes some of economic activity in the country and in the economic zone. Interest rates, inflation, growth, unemployment, government spending, taxation, those are macroeconomics. They both are related to computation, but in different perspectives. Macroeconomics is the big picture. And I'm going to quickly go over this, and it's about decisions. You have certain amount of money and you can spend your money in a certain way, and when you sell it, you make profit. So how are you going to make decisions? So decisions are creating different outcomes, and different outcomes may yield different profits. So the computation of correct bid, correct decision can be made based on the game theory. Okay? Result will be different. Some agent will make more money. Don't worry about the numbers. And that brings the game theory in economics into play with the computer science. In the game theory, there are decisions and outcomes of the decisions, and the question is, what kind of decision I should make in order to get the most benefit? Typical game theory problem is the penalty kick. One part is the player, the other part is the kaleci, goalie. So if the kicker kicks left, let me get the pen again. If the kicker kicks left and the goalie drive left, kicker loses, goalie wins. But if he dives right, kicker wins. If it kicks right, goalie drives the other side, the other part wins. So there is no pure strategy for equilibrium. So there is no dominant strategy for kicker or goalie. They are balanced. But sometimes it is imbalanced. Okay? And if there is an imbalance, we should move on that side to make decisions, then we will win. Suppose hani sağ ayağıyla vuranlar vardır ya. Suppose kicker kicks 80% of the time to the right, and then when the goalie will dive right 100% of the time, then there is a high chance of winning because you know the other side in advance. In the equilibrium state, which is famous Nash equilibrium, 50% of the time right, 50% of the time left, and the diver also, the goalie dives 50% of the time each side. Then neither player can do better by changing their strategy from the random. They don't have to make changes in their behavior because it's at the equilibrium. And the famous ice cream selling problem in the game theory is this is a beach. This is a beach. There is an ice cream guy here selling, and there is an ice cream guy selling here. They are happy, but this guy decides to come to the center. When that guy decides to come to the center, it makes no the one on the left. The one on the left comes to the center a little bit. Then he serves this region, so it narrows down the region of the other one. But the other part also moves. Then no change. So it is a totally unnecessary movement if this move happens. So what to do? The things to do is not to move because nothing is changed. The only change is your location. The revenue will be the same because other party also moves. When you move, other party also moves. So how we are going to solve these problems? Through the optimization software using there is a GLPK programming, linear programming techniques, mixed integer linear programming, dynamic programming, agent-based models. So these are computation problems in algorithms course. You will see some of them in your algorithms course. Some of them are not. Some of them are only addressed in game theory and these courses related to economics and artificial intelligence. Sorry for this. There is a prediction markets for as a result of these game theory things. For example, Sport Toto can be predicted. What will be the closing price of Apple stock in June 2022, or who will win the election? These are who is going to win the game. These are the prediction markets and bahis, and these are interesting markets and usually not legal because it is considered as gambling. And investment market. There is an investment market, which is what we call securities. The Western term for investment is security. It's a financial instrument that can be traded in a financial market. Hisse senedi is a security. So the term security applies to type of investments that are fungible and negotiable, buyable, sellable. Investments are securities. Funds, bonds, stocks, not only stocks, but other things, bonolar, etc. Options and ETFs, those are securities. So please learn what security means, okay? It is nothing to do with the computer security or security in the general sense. It is financial security, which is investment. Other types of problems does come up. 5 for a security that pays off 10 if cloudy, if rains or thunderstorm. Agent 2 offers 8 for a security that pays off 10 if sunny and thunderstorm. So who will be the best investment? Which one will be the best investment? Agent 3 offers 6 for sunny day. Probably agent 2 is better. So this computation, this is a decision problem, must be computed. So when you are making investments in the security market, you need to compute these kind of problems. All of them have risks. So an investor thinks about possibilities of these probabilities of the weather, and it matches with the bids and makes decisions. Okay, makes decisions and actual weather on the predicted day. So a lot of parameters, and it's an optimization problem. Now, these securities, extra definition. Normally, we talk about these securities, marketable, liquid securities. Those are liquid securities, buyable, sellable in the public market. If it is not if it is not marketable, like a house, it will be more difficult. But there are also mechanisms. The transferring is very difficult. Unlike the stock exchange or bond or money, the transfer is difficult, so it is also risky. Selling could be difficult. I think I'm done at this point. If you have any more questions, let me know. Let me open this